With the way my dating life is going right now, I feel like I'm gonna be single for a long time. Like a long time. I literally just cannot stand. I cannot stand these vanilla men. You're boring. You don't intrigue me. And at this point, I'm like losing faith in all men. I just feel like they all want one thing. And if that's what you want, I'm the wrong bitch. Go somewhere else. I cannot tell another man what I like to do on my free time. I can't do it. And I don't give my attention to anybody. And when I'm finally like, oh, like he's cute, like let me talk to him. You're boring. You suck. And I feel like from past experiences, I have the tendency to pick the shit ones. So like I'm just gonna stay away. I'm done. I'm logging off. No more for Bella right now.
Right.
And yeah, maybe I do get a little bit jealous when I see couples out in public. I'm like, that looks nice. Haven't had that in a long time. When is it my turn? When is it my turn? At the end of the day, it's not my plan. So we're just chilling.
So she seems like a nice person outside of dating and being frustrated. Yeah, she seems like a nice person. I would say just basically a few things here. You're probably running into the crappy guys because you don't know how to pick. And that's not a problem specific to you. It's a problem specific to a lot of modern women. Instead of front loading the work and asking critical thinking questions, using critical thinking skills to ask the questions that you need to get to the answer that you're looking for, you would rather say, oh, he's cute. Let me talk to him. I don't give my time to a lot of people. Translation, most women are not giving their time to a lot of men because they think a lot of men are ugly. They don't notice a lot of men. So if a man is average, then they're not going to look at him. So you're not going to give him your time, obviously, right? But then you say, oh, he's cute. Oh, I got to know him. He's not that great. He's a crappy guy, right? You guys be talking about men, be too focused on attractiveness and all those other things. But then you just, as most modern women do, you told on yourself. And now we know you guys focus only on the same thing as well. A lot of you modern women, at least. So you're probably going to continue to pick those guys because you don't want to do the work, which once again, most modern women don't. They don't want to use their brain. They just want to let the man lead the conversation. You pay for everything. You set up the date. You take me home. You text me first. Just carry me, piggyback ride all throughout life. And that's basically how it's going to go. That's why men don't want to be involved with that type of stuff. That's why they're walking away, because you get on here and say that all men are boring when really, actually, if one of us guys were talking or they were talking to any girl or any woman with common sense, it would be a very stimulating conversation for the both of them. But apparently you guys, once again, don't know how to pick them, which is why you're in the situation right now. And so you just say, I'm done with it. I quit. I don't want to be bothered, instead of locking in and doing some actual work.
That's my favorite form of microfeminism. What's yours?
Whenever I notice that men say things like, oh, I let my girlfriend wear whatever she wants, I let her wear makeup, I let her go hang out with her friends, I start using the same language. I follow suit and I will say things like, I totally understand, I actually prefer my boyfriend clean shaven, but sometimes I let him grow out his facial hair. Or, I really enjoy doing hobbies with my boyfriend. I actually love to crochet and I wish he'd get more into it. Mm-hmm. But I do let him play video games. Mm-hmm. And it's just like the growing irritation as you continue to say that you let a man do something. Mm-hmm. It's like a sweet little treat that you can harvest for yourself.
Love these. Yeah, this is ineffective communication. Classic on display. And they wonder why men don't want to be bothered with them. They wonder why they attract terrible men. It's because you have a terrible attitude. The way you go about things is terrible. And it makes you ugly. I don't know if you knew that. Men don't want to be bothered with that. I think he was just saying, oh yeah, man, I'm chill. I don't really do all that other stuff, because if a man were over the top of you, you can't wear this, you can't do this, you can't go there, then you guys would call him controlling and he's an insecure man. That's what you would say. But he comes back and says, oh man, I don't worry about that stuff. I don't tell my girl what to wear. I let her do, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do. Go ahead and do that, man. I ain't worried about that. You know what I mean? Oh, and number one, number two, it shows that you're terrible. Like you're going to be crap, like just dog water at communication, because you're supposed to be communicating these types of things in a normal relationship. Like if you're walking out the house or he's walking out the house and you're wearing something too revealing or something for women that doesn't look right to their eye, babe, you going out the house in that? Yeah, what's wrong with it? You look like a bum. And then you as a man got to go back in there and change. And then you change it to something that she's thrown together, that she's put together. So she feels comfortable with you representing her. But when it's the reverse and he says, are you going out the house like that? That's a little revealing. Oh, well, I always used to wear that. I don't know why, but now since we're in a relationship, I don't want you to wear that. And it's a whole back and forth, and it's a whole conversation where it's a dialogue. But when it was the man needing to change, then just like that, the only question that was asked was why? Because I don't want you misrepresent me. I don't want you looking like that and we laugh it off and hee ha ha, and he goes in there and changes. Maybe 2 or 3 questions after that, or maybe even it's a whole conversation. But for women, this is a 2 or 3 day thing. This is a week long. This is a month long thing. And this is a thing that tears at the very fabric of the relationship. This is a thing that she has to go to her mother and her father and sister and brother and anybody else and tell her side of the story and become the victim. And now they're looking at you like you're controlling. You're terrible. You're insecure. Don't talk to her like that. And all of a sudden you got to back off. I'm not going to back off. I said what I said. I'm a grown man. I don't care nothing about what your dad said, nothing about what your brother said, nothing about what your grandfather said. I pay the bills here. And they should understand that, because when I walk in their house, they're going to tell me, well, I'll run this over here. And it shouldn't have to get to that. But it does a lot of times, because these modern women are stuck on disrespecting, just like this woman right here. But don't worry about it, though. I'm sure you'll find a nice guy.
Your husband isn't supposed to ask your permission. Your husband can do whatever he wants with the money. True submission is giving him complete control and not trying to control him. Truly feminine.
It's a tricky phrase right there. He's not supposed to ask permission. He does it out of respect. I would say that it's darn near permission. Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to. But if you're in a relationship, the way I think about it, I wouldn't want people just making decisions without talking to me, period. Like if I'm on a job and my boss is saying, hey, we about to do this. Yeah, sure. They don't have to ask my permission, but I can get on board with it if I understand it. You know what I mean? So you want to always talk to your significant other. And I don't think that she's not saying that. But like I said, the phrasing there is tricky.
And wives actually don't get mad about this stuff. And I'll tell you why. Because I know women that really were housewives and really believed they obeyed their husband. They wanted, when he came home, they didn't want him to lift a finger. Okay. And that's not the reputation of wives today. And those women have had an extremely hard time because their friends would shame them. Yep. Their friends just don't get it. So when I say that's the generation of shitty wives, they don't get mad. They say, I know, because I've been alone. They are lonely. Mm-hmm. They don't have this gut reaction and say, oh, well, that's not all women. No, they know it doesn't apply to them. And it's a very lonely life for women that truly want to be traditional. You know what their friends will say? That you're being controlled. Yep. Even Christian wives will say, oh, she just does whatever he says. They don't realize that's the way it's supposed to be. Your husband isn't supposed to ask your permission. Your husband can do whatever he wants with the money. True submission is giving him complete control and not trying to control him. We're not perfect, right? So no chick's going to do that perfectly. But if we can't even agree that that is the aim, that is the goal, then the next generation is going to be even wives.
They're not going to be able to do it. They just can't. It's too much propaganda, too much influence happening, and it takes them a long time now to break out of that, right? And I don't want to absolve men of having to do their part and be leaders and learning how to do that, But I think in a relationship, you learn together. He learns how to be a leader. Yeah, he should have like a general idea of where he's going. Definitely people are going to want that to happen. He should have goals, but it's more than likely that those goals are going to change. When you add different dynamics, he's going to have to modify those things. Yeah, the main thing is going to still be the main thing. It should be in general, and he shouldn't be bouncing all over the place. But life comes at you fast. Eat a Snickers. But life is going to come at you fast. And so the things that he thought he wanted to do or he was planning on doing, he's going to have to pivot and try to figure out something else, right? So he's going to have to learn how to be that leader, how to be that husband, how to be that father. And you're going to have to learn how to be the mother, how to be the nurturer, how to be the wife, somebody that supports her husband. And these ladies that are in these types of relationships, I was listening to, I think Rachel Wilson from Andrew Wilson's wife. He appears on the Whatever podcast a lot. And she was talking about her relationship of 17 years with Andrew. Talking about and you could just listen to how she learned him, how she learned his mannerisms. And all of the women, a panel of like 6, 7, 8 women, dogging Andrew. And she sat there and defended him. She stuck up for him. Yeah, he's this, he's that. And he doesn't start with you unless you start with him. If you dish it out, then you got to be able to take it. And all the women had an excuse. None of them in relationships, none of them married. Well, maybe they're in relationships, but none of them married. This is a married woman telling you, this is how you stay in a relationship. This is how you go back and forth and communicate with your man, your husband. I've been doing this for 17 years. I was in a relationship before that, and that was on me. That was my fault. I have kids before that, but I'm learning how to, and I did learn how to be a better wife, and we learn how to work together. These women don't work together. They just sit up here and trash you about your relationship, and they don't even know how to get one. That's crazy to me.
Kaka's childhood sweetheart broke his heart. What hope do we have? This is why Kaka's ex-wife, his childhood sweetheart, left him. She said Kaka never betrayed me, he always treated me well, and he gave me a wonderful family. But I wasn't happy, something was missing. The problem is that he was too perfect for me. And then she divorced Kaka, and when Kaka was about to remarry, she tried getting back in his life right before his wedding. So then she didn't get invited to the wedding, and I mean, you don't realize what you have until it's over. And Kaka said
No, she realized it. She's just an idiot. Let's not play that game. The man looks like, what is he? A football player, soccer. She realizes that she's got too cocky and start acting stupid.
He did everything not to divorce his ex-wife because he was happy, and as a Christian he was thinking about his religion, and as a Christian you don't think about divorcing ever. She fumbled, then she realized what she did and how she messed up, and then it was too late. Like, how do you fumble Kaka? And they were childhood sweethearts, and she fumbled, bro. When they met, Kaka was pure. He was a man of God, and he still is. On the Ballon d'Or, he's religious, he's loyal, and he still got his heart broken. Yeah, it's over, bro.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. Yeah, she's an idiot. Move on, find something better. There's definitely better out there. I know it's probably hard at his level, the type of money he makes, but we're not going to make excuses for modern women's stupidity and their behavior because they don't make excuses for the good guys. A guy could be doing something right as he was doing, and then they still find ways to do stupid stuff. So no, we're not going to be making excuses for her stupidity. And maybe she didn't know, and I didn't know I had a good thing. She did. She just acted stupid.
And don't forget, when you get an apartment, usually, say your apartment is $1,200 a month, they would need first, last, and security deposit.
Why do they need last month's rent if I wasn't in this?
You're signing for a year. They're taking it from they just want to make sure you have the money to provide. You're good with your money.
Well, I still wasn't here last month.
You pay it for a full year, and we get the first month and the last month, you'll make sure to stay because you already paid for it. You won't leave us out in the wind to try to find another tenant to make sure you stay.
Okay.
That girl said.
Little scammers. Like, what are y'all doing? I'm under because the car is the used car. 2010 car. Still 400. I'm on a bike that's $60.
You're gonna pedal to work every day?
I ain't got no other choice.
What if it's raining?
I gotta buy the one strap umbrella on the side.
What about your child?
I'm not having kids. Oh, you gotta write me a lot of money in real.
What are your views on adulthood?
I'm in debt already. And it's not even real money. Like,
So we have a little bit of trouble. It's what we go through as well. Every single adult, probably, well, not every single adult, but most adults trying to figure out how they're gonna make ends meet. So yeah, sorry that you have to learn this now. And can you imagine with all of this other stuff, these strong independent women be talking about, I don't need a man, I got it, don't worry about it. I'd rather do 100% of this stuff by myself than have a man that's this, or whatever slander they want to throw his way at the time. That's what they say. But then they end up with the same attitude and the same complaints as this young lady right here. It's too hard. I'm already behind. We know. That's what we were saying. You're saying that you don't need a man, but you're already behind. You need help. You need something. I don't know.